NASCAR is officially coming to Chicago next summer.
NASCAR is coming to downtown Chicago.
NASCAR is running a temporary street course, and Chicago is hosting.
The start and finish line for NASCAR's inaugural street race event is going to be right here in front of Buckingham.
I think it's going to be one of the most iconic race courses, maybe ever.
This is big. I think bringing a race here to the downtown streets of Chicago is really cool.
In 1 week, Chicago is going to be closing its streets down for a NASCAR race. Yes, I'm not even kidding. The start-finish line is going to be right there, and they are already building the grandstands right there. But the real question is this even a good idea? That is the day that the NASCAR Cup Series is running their first street circuit race in their entire history, and it's happening right here in Grant Park. Okay, but first, what is a street circuit race? How is it different from any other track in NASCAR, and why is it so important to NASCAR's history? Well, let me explain that, but let's go somewhere a little bit quieter. Oh, I'm not supposed to be here. That is a circle. That is an oval. This right here, that is what NASCAR primarily races on 30 times a year. Now the other 6 times a year, they race on what's called a road course. Now, road course racing is done on a closed circuit, and typically they are not open to the public. It is a racetrack and a racetrack only. And a street circuit is where a city turns an already existing road into a racetrack. And that's the difference between a road course and a street circuit. I'm sorry, I'm left-handed, so writing on my left hand, this is a terrible drawing. I am so sorry. Now, other motorsports like Formula One does this with Monaco and Las Vegas, and IndyCar does this with Nashville and Long Beach, California. So why here? Why Chicago, of all places? Why not race somewhere down south in the heart of NASCAR like Nashville, Atlanta, or heck, even Charlotte? Well, I think I know the answer to that question.
We like the track, yep. We gotta grab some banks and spits. It's like an oval, so we're gonna drive straight and then we're gonna be turning to the left.
So for years, NASCAR has been seen as a redneck sport where a bunch of dumb rednecks drive around in circles for 5 hours and turn left and crash, and you've probably heard all this before.
I want to go fast.
So with the majority of the races taking place in the southeastern United States, this stereotype made sense. But NASCAR did something bold in 2022. So before 2022, the first race was usually held at Daytona a week before the Daytona 500. It was an exhibition race called the Clash. But in 2022, they moved that race to a couple weeks before the Daytona 500, and they put it in downtown LA in the LA Coliseum. So, did it help? Well, kind of. Ever since that and a couple changes here and there, NASCAR has been seeing some growth. It hasn't been overnight, but it's subtle and it is there. And this opened the door for NASCAR to be a little bold, try new things, and break the mold. I realize that rhyme, but it also allowed for things like the Chicago Street Course to happen. Ever since July of 2022, when they announced this race, a significant amount of people did not like the idea of racing here in these streets. And a lot of people who are in power here at Chicago tried to stop this event. But here we are, 1 month away from the race, and they're already setting up the grandstands right behind me. Against all the odds, NASCAR did what they set out to do. And I applaud them for it. This was not easy for them to do. I guess all I'm trying to say is I'm happy. I'm happy that the sport that I grew up watching is not okay with settling. They're not okay with being comfortable, but instead they're trying new things. They're going out and doing stuff that could potentially fail. Because like a wise man once said, if you're comfortable, you're not growing. Goodness gracious. Look at all this stuff. I filmed part of my other video just over there. Just over there. That's crazy. The amount of work that is going into this, the amount of parts and labor and just, oh my goodness, this is a huge project. This is not, NASCAR's showing up. This is cool. That is insane.